The rain hadn't stopped for 3 days. Gray sheets of water poured over the ravaged valley, washing mud from the broken cliffs and swelling the river into a roaring, silver serpent. The wooden bridge that once crossed it was gone, swept away by the storm that had come from the north. On the muddy bank, a young boy stood barefoot in the rain. His name was Arlen, 14 years old. Orphaned since the plague took his parents 2 winters ago. He lived on scraps, wandering from one ruined human camp to another, trying to stay alive in a world that no longer wanted him. This part of the world was alien land now, claimed by the Ailiri, tall luminous beings with pale skin, long white hair, and eyes that shimmered like the heart of pearls. They had come from the skies decades ago and slowly pushed the humans to the edges. Most humans feared them. Some hated them. But Arlen had learned that hate and hunger didn't mix. Hate never filled your stomach. He had come to the river hoping to fish, though the river now raged too wildly for that. Then he saw her. Across the rushing water, an alien figure struggled along the bank. She was small for her kind, hunched, her robe soaked and heavy. One of her legs was twisted, metal braces wrapped around it, clicking with each step. She was trying to cross. Arlen frowned. There was no bridge. Only the river and the churning foam. Hey! He shouted over the storm. Don't go in there! She didn't seem to hear. She leaned on a staff and took another limping step toward the edge. The current was wild enough to drag a tree under. One wrong step and she'd be gone. Before Arlen could think twice, he kicked off his boots, plunged into the freezing water, and fought his way across. The current slammed him sideways. The rocks scraped his knees. But he reached her. Stop. You'll drown, he gasped. The alien elder turned sharply. Her face was pale and lined, her eyes the color of dawn mist. Leave me, she rasped. You are human. This is not your concern. Arlen shook his head, teeth chattering. If I leave you, you'll die. She stared at him for a long moment, then sighed. Then so be it. Death finds all things. Not today, he said. He reached out his hand. She looked at it as if it were something foreign. Then slowly, she placed her cool, fragile fingers in his. Together they stepped into the river. The current hit them like a beast. Arlen felt his feet skid, his lungs scream. He held her tightly, bracing against the pull. The elder gripped his shoulder, muttering something under her breath, a prayer or maybe a curse. Her brace clanked with every step. Almost there, Arlen shouted. His voice was barely a sound under the storm's roar. He could see the far bank. Mud, reeds, salvation. One last surge and they stumbled out of the water, collapsing onto the shore. Arlen lay on his back, panting. The alien woman coughed softly, her breath steaming in the cold air. After a moment, she turned to him. You risked yourself, she said. Why? He blinked up at the clouds. Because you needed help. She frowned as if trying to process that. Humans fear us. Many would have watched me drown. I'm not many. For the first time, she smiled, a tiny, tired smile. You are not, she agreed. What is your name, child? Arlen? I am Sarai, keeper of the 4th star, she said quietly. Or I was before I fell. He didn't understand what that meant, but he nodded. You shouldn't travel alone. The storm's still bad. I have nowhere else to go, she murmured. My tribe cast me out when I could no longer fight. Something inside Arlen twisted. He knew that feeling too well. Being unwanted, left behind because you were no longer useful. He stood and offered her his arm. Then you'll stay with me tonight. They found shelter under a crumbling stone arch, an old bridge that had once carried trains before the alien wars. Arlen started a small fire from bits of driftwood. The flames sputtered weakly, but they gave warmth. Sarai watched him curiously as he worked. You have skill for one so young. Life teaches you fast when you're hungry, he said, smiling faintly. When the fire grew steady, she unwrapped her cloak. Beneath it, her leg brace gleamed faintly, a strange mix of metal and living tissue. He could see where old wounds had fused into the device itself. Does it hurt? He asked quietly. Always, she said. The river made it worse. Arlen hesitated. Then he took a small knife and pried open the bent latch near her knee. I used to fix tools in the camps. Maybe I can loosen it. You dare touch the limb of an Ailiri, she said with a flicker of warning. He grinned. You dared to cross a flooded river. We both take chances. She looked at him for a long moment, then nodded. He worked slowly. adjusting the joints, cleaning mud from the gears. Her muscles relaxed as he did. When he was done, the brace moved more freely. Sarai flexed her leg in silence. Then softly she said, "It has been many cycles since anyone touched me with care." Arlen shrugged, embarrassed. Guess someone needed to. By morning, the rain had stopped. Mist curled over the valley. The sun rose pale and weak through the clouds. Arlen woke to find Sarai standing at the river's edge watching the light. "Thank you," she said without turning. "You have done more for me than my own kin." "You can find them again," he said. "Tell them you're alive." Her gaze stayed fixed on the horizon. "No, child. They will not have me back." Arlen's brow furrowed. "Then I'll go with you." She turned then, her expression unreadable. "You would walk among my kind?" He nodded. "If they cast you out for being hurt, they need to see someone stand with you." For a moment she said nothing. Then very slowly she smiled. "Then come." They traveled east for 2 days through the drenched forest until silver spires rose above the trees. The alien city shimmered like a dream, built from crystal and light, suspended above a vast lake. Arlen had never seen anything so beautiful or so terrifying. When they approached the gates, armored sentinels descended, their spears crackling with energy. One raised a hand. "Human, you trespass on sacred ground." Sarai stepped forward, leaning on her staff. "He is with me." The guards froze. One of them whispered, "Keeper Sarai." She nodded. I returned, though unbidden. The guards bowed deeply, confusion and shame flickering in their eyes. They escorted her through luminous corridors that hummed with power. Arlen followed, eyes wide at every glowing wall and floating bridge. At last they came to a great hall carved from glass-like stone. A throne of woven light stood at its center. On it sat Vian, the chieftain of the Illyri, tall, regal, his voice smooth as thunder. "Sarai of the fourth star," he said. "You were lost beyond the rivers. Why do you return with a human boy?" "To show you what mercy looks like," she said simply. Murmurs rippled through the gathered aliens. Vian's eyes narrowed. "You bring this orphan into our sacred hall and speak of mercy." "He saved me," Sarai said. "When I fell in the storm, when your warriors did not come, when the forest itself turned against me, it was this child who carried me from death." Vian rose slowly. "A human saved you?" "Yes," she said, "because he saw me not as a god or a monster, but as a soul in need." Silence filled the hall. Then to Arlen's shock, Vian stepped down from the throne. He approached the boy and studied him. "You risked your life for one of us?" Arlen swallowed. "She needed help. That's all." Vian's lips twitched, almost a smile. "You speak simply." He turned to his council. "We Illyri speak of honor and wisdom. Yet this child of the race we once called lesser shows more truth than all of us combined." The council stirred, uneasy. Sarai bowed her head. "I ask one thing, Vian, do not forget him." Vian nodded slowly. "We will not." That night they gave Arlen a place to sleep beneath the crystal towers. He ate more food than he had seen in months, sweet fruits that glowed faintly, bread that melted on his tongue. Sarai visited him before dawn. "They have decided," she said quietly. "The chieftain will make you a guest of the Illyri." "A friend to our kind," Arlen blinked. "Me, I'm just nobody." Her smile was gentle. "Not anymore." She handed him a small pendant carved from clear stone. Inside it swirled faint light. "This is the tear of the river. It carries a piece of our song. Wear it and no Illyri will harm you." He looked up. "Will I see you again?" Sarai's eyes shimmered with something like pride and sorrow. "My path ends here. The current has carried me far enough." Before he could reply, she touched the pendant to his chest. Light burst around them, warm, soft, endless. When it faded, she was gone. Years passed. The boy who had once lived on scraps became the first human envoy to the Illyri. He carried their symbols, learned their speech, and walked freely between both worlds. The humans called him the River Child. The aliens called him the Bridge. When asked why he helped them, why he trusted those who had once taken everything, Arlen would smile faintly and say, "Because one day long ago I held out my hand, and someone took it, and sometimes at twilight he would stand beside the same river where he'd first met her. The water ran calm now, silver under the stars. He would hold the pendant to his heart, and faintly he would hear her voice in the rush of the current. Thank you, Arlen. You showed us what it means to cross worlds. He would close his eyes, whispering to the wind, "I only helped someone who needed it." But the river knew the truth. He had helped more than one being across that day. He had helped a whole world learn how to be kind again.